Hi, it's Canterbury Trails Farm, and today I'm going to do a video on what I call my John Axe dollhouse. And the reason why I call it the John Axe dollhouse is because I designed it to look like the Wee Patsy paper dollhouse that John Axe drew for the Wee Patsy paper dolls. Have a Effanbee re-released the Wee Patsys, I think in the late 90s, and I have one of them. They are a inch or 2 inches smaller than the actual vintage Wee Patsys, and that's how you can know that you have that and it's plastic and not composition. The original Wee Patsys are composition. But let's look at the outside first. So I tried to look like what he drew it as, and so we had the window boxes, and I used vintage lace inside the dollhouse. Don't mind my messy painting. I had all kinds of problems with these because I couldn't inset them. What I started out with was an IKEA dollhouse bookshelf. I added a floor, the top attic floor up here I added. It was just these 4 sections, and it's a bookshelf that looks like a dollhouse. It doesn't have this gable. I added the gable. It did come with the chimney, but it was just plain wood, no paint for you to craft with. I think these are still available. Not a bad price. I think it was about 30 bucks. And of course this has been a few years, so not sure. But anyway, so I added the slates, which are wood, and I painted them, and I added the gable. Again, in here I have just bits of lace and the windows here. Painted it yellow with the red and white trim, just like on the John Axe paper dolls. Added a floor because it was this big open weird thing and I needed a bathroom. So the bathroom is up there. So let's start at the top and we'll work all the way down to the treasure of the kitchen. So in the bathroom, it sort of is a conglomeration of different things. I have a Strombecker wardrobe that doesn't open. Has a little nail head. A Holly Hobby 1970s pedestal sink. Just a standard dollhouse tub. Back there is an Ideal Petite Princess gold satin chair. And this, I think, was actually a Christmas ornament. I don't know what. Maybe Hallmark. Got it at a garage sale, but it's awesome because you see what it does. Isn't that awesome? I mean, it was like $1 at $1. So it had to find a place, and it didn't really have a place. I made a place for it in the bathroom. In my other dollhouse video, we talked about how I buy the little bits and pieces of crocheted stuff, and that was a little perfect rug. And then I have the little Petite Princess pink challenge there. I had another one of those in my other dollhouse. Remember the Keystone Boston dollhouse. And then over here, it's just super cute. A little vintage bit I found in an antique store. It's a chamber pot, anyway. It has a kitty in it. So, super cute, because there's no toilet in here, if you notice. So they have a chamber pot with a kitty. Kitty is not being good, but anyway, it's cute. And then this is a plastic embossed. So this bedroom, so this house is sort of my everything goes house. When I find something neat somewhere, I change a lot of things out of this house a lot. So I have a box and I just cycle them through. So if I find something neat at a garage sale that's sort of cool, I can cycle this in and out of this one. I think one of my favorite things about this room is my curtains. Let me move this weird little lamp. Now let me move this whole table. Is the curtains I made. And it was an old corset cover that was really damaged, but I was able to salvage part of it and soak it, and it came out nice and white, and it has this gloss grain ribbon. It's just really pretty. But anyway, it made really pretty curtains, and if I can do this here, behind the window, I cut from a magazine, and just so there's actual, it looks like a window back there, like the treetops back there. So gives the illusion of a window because you can sort of see through the curtains and it looks like there's a window. Just got a little ceramic kitty down there. Like I said, this is my anything goes. Found this little light at an antique store. It's just like a 1950s and it's almost like someone made it. It has the little plug. In my first dollhouse that I made years and years ago, Not my first dollhouse. It's the dollhouse I made as an adult, I guess you'd say, out of a big bookcase. It was all electrified and had a big switchboard on the back. Now everything's like a LED and a little battery and attaches with magnets and stuff, so you don't have to mess with all that. But anyway, it has a little cord, so I just tucked that back there. This bed, I think it was a vintage bed that I painted. I can't remember. But it's just a little wood bed, and I made the talked about the rug catalogs, getting the rug. And this also had, underneath here I have, you can buy books of papers. We talked about that the last video, dollhouse video, and it's just the wood floor. It's not the right scale, but it works. Underneath here I have all the little linens I made out of that same quilt fabric that I talked about last time, and little throw pillows. I just wanted this to look like a real cozy room that you'd want to just come read in bed. I have a whole set of these little guys. They're just little crocheted animals, and they're just perfect. They're so cute. There's back there's a turtle and what else do I got? A duck. I think there's an elephant. Anyway, I have a whole set of those. I think they were ornaments, but whatever. Back here, there's a little. I just got this recently. This little poodle in a tutu. Got that at an antique store. I think sometimes the antique people think I'm crazy because this stuff, like this was covered with like 3 inches of dust, like it's been there for 20 years. And they're like, no one ever looks at that stuff. I'm like, I'll take it because it's perfect. Little poodle with a tutu sitting on there. And these all open, and I'm sure I've got bits and pieces, probably like doll underwear in there. So this is interesting. Sorry, it has to go black for a minute there. I only got one hand. Little made in Mexico, little antique doll, and you'll see, like you've seen the kitty size ones. I had a couple when I was little. I wish I had them now. They're worth a fortune, but the little kid size ones. But this is a little tiny doll one, and look at that. That is actually woven. It's not like, like the little shackly ones I have are like a woven mat that they cut and then nailed on. This is actually woven on the chair, and it's not just the top. It's strung underneath too. It's amazing. Anyway, I had to put that in there. I had a different chair in here, but I had to put that in here. And then this is actually a music box, and the roll top desk, it opens and closes, and you can see sort of the music. And I've got these are little Cat in the Hat erasers that were released on the Cat in the Hat anniversary, but they're little books. They have all the little covers. Anyway, again, like I said, this is my IKEA dollhouse. Anything goes in this one if I like it, and it goes in here. And none of these open because it's a music box, but the little scales are neat on top. It's all built onto that. And the little skeleton it's left over from Halloween. I had it all decorated for Halloween. It's actually earrings. Back when I was teaching high school, I used to wear neat little kind of festive things on different holidays. And back there's a petite princess turquoise chair, like we had the gold colored one up there, and I had the turquoise. And I don't remember who that that might be a Shackley piece, the little dresser, but I don't know. I don't remember. And underneath I probably have various clothes and stuff. Okay, this room is the crazy room. This room, I have a little doll that she's wearing a Storybook Nancy dress just because I like it. Like I said, this is just the I like it dollhouse. It's not historically accurate. I give myself permission to not have to sit in one time period. I can do whatever I want in this house. This is the I like it house. You see, I was making little baseboards too. I got part of them down there. I haven't finished that. Everything's a work in progress. Anyway, so this, I have another Strombecker 1930s wood bed and matching night table. I have just a little porcelain doll cradle, and I have little vintage dolls stuck in there, all kinds of little ones, some composition of plastic, some more down there, and I have little that's Darling, this little skunk. Just little animals, little bits and pieces, and again, it has all the linens. It's actually made out of a 1930s quilt square. Look at those little dinky wood Dutch shoes. They're so tiny. Um, those are super cute. And this was a Hallmark play kitchen set like that. So this is like a little girl's room with her dolls and her little kitchen set, her little purse and her play pink phone. It's just the cute little playroom. It's just so cute. I saw that and I just had to get that. There's another 1/12 scale Mrs. Santa Claus stove that I would kill for, but you can't touch it for under $130. But I would kill to have it in my Keystone Boston house, but replace that instant coffee ceramic one. But it's just too pricey. I just probably won't ever have that unless I just get really lucky and find someone with it for like $20. Then I'll get lucky. But anyway, so this is really neat. It's like the little girl's playroom. It's her room, it's her bed, and all her toys. And it's just fun. I love the curtains with, again, like I said, I just used, actually it was a curtain a catalog, and I just cut the window out and then made the little curtains out of scraps of lace. Living room, again, anything goes. So I have, piano is actually a salt and pepper set, 50s, and you'll see, if I can get the light right, the top, you see the holes, and it says S and a P, and those two top things come out and they lift out, and they're the salt and pepper shaker. But it's a piano. Isn't that the coolest thing? Anyway, I had to get that. Little chairs, just some little plastic, I don't know. This is a little dollhouse chair from something, Fisher Price or something. It just fit, so it was the right scale. Again, I just cut, because a lot of times when you're dealing with 1/12 and 1/16 scale, when you start adding curtains and things get really overwhelming. Now, it worked in this room because it had a lot of wall space. It just worked. But down here, I have so much that if I tried to stick curtains in there, especially fancy curtains like I want to put in there, and if you almost look at that, it almost looks like those are real. But they're just cut out of a magazine and glued on there. So it gives the idea that you got that. Back there is just some, I don't know, it's actually sort of junky. Somebody made that wood out of a kit, but I needed something in that corner, and the grandfather clock it is. The little ceramic, there was one of those up in the playroom too. It might be salt and pepper shakers, or it might just be a little ceramic. Somebody made it for the girls' dollhouse lamp. It is on a little, I think it's a Shackley end table back there. And again, the carpet is the other half of the evening bag that we talked about. Fireplace, nothing spectacular. I just needed a fireplace, and it's basically a placeholder because it's pretty crappy. It's just a wood garage sale kind of thing. And got a little, that is from the little, I think it's Mozart pewter bust. I meant to paint it white, never did. From a doll convention way back in the 90s. I have again another sideboard from Ideal Petite Princess. This one was a little damaged, and that's why it's sort of over here. I still needed something in here, so again, like I said, I changed this one out. So there's a Napoleon Bonaparte bust. Again, I got that at a doll convention, and I think there's like a Greek statue back there. It might be Hippocrates. And a Holly Hobby 1970s spinning wheel. And then, of course, if everyone remembers, if you're old enough, the little they were like Viewmaster Forerunners that you would look in them. You'd get them for touristy places. And this one is actually from Puerto Rico. And there's little scenes in there. But this one just has, I believe, one scene. But some of the better ones had a little button that you would push. And there'd be a little wheel that would go around, and you could see. But it's perfect because it's red. It's the right color. I have a little Petite Princess red. I have all of the little silk wingback, little armchairs represented in this one. And this is a little red satin one. And the little pillow with the little like British kind of cross stitch I made a long time ago. And it lived in a different dollhouse. But it lives here now. And so, let's see if I can get that back together. A little crowded in here, but you know, it's cozy. They can watch TV, they can play the piano. Let's go to the kitchen. All right, before I show you the kitchen, I'm going to show you the stuff that's in the kitchen. So Craigston made, and I believe this is very early 50s. Don't think it has a date on it. But I'm going to say very early 50s. And it's the entire set. This was my Christmas present one year. It has the box. It's very delicate here. So you can see the whole scene there. And then the inner things are still here. And a table and chairs. But the problem is, and then I talked about this with Strombecker, sometimes you get sets that for some reason, not everything is to scale. And the chairs are, actually this whole thing is just too small for the set. The chairs are too small. The table is too close to the chairs. You wouldn't actually be able to put a doll in there. It's just a weird arrangement. Judging by the condition of the chairs and things, I'm thinking probably the kid thought the same thing, because I don't think it was used. In fact, I don't think the table's been removed. But so the original box, just such a lovely piece that, I mean, I cherish this. And when I was almost crying when I got this, because it was everything I had just to put it back in my husband's closet and leave it there until Christmas. But so the kitchen is still a work in progress, obviously, because you can see there's still patches of bareness on the wall that I don't always know everything I'm going to do. And I don't want to just fill up the wall, you know, because there might be another cabinet or something I want to put up there. And I think there are actually a few other pieces, maybe not the same maker, but a similar maker that, you know, I might be able to get a cabinet that can go up there. But let's look at it. So my little Effanbee Repro Wee Patsy has accidentally dropped her milk bucket out of the fridge, and Kitty has decided to move in her baby. It's like, well, it's free milk. So let's move out Patsy and Kitty. Let's move the milk. So I actually have a little light in there that I put in there. This refrigerator alone is amazing. Has the little, here the light just fell out there, has the little tray. That crazy, it goes in there. Let me see if I can get in there. It actually has like, I used to have an early, I think it was late 40s actually, refrigerator that I had restored and used when I was really young. I was like 22. And the little freezer is like always in there, and you have to defrost. It opens up. You have to defrost that little freezer. It was a pain in the butt. That was my Friday night chore every time, to defrost my freezer every week. But it has little everything in there. It's just amazing. And then look at the little door. It has the little pictures on the door. It closes. Isn't that amazing? And back here we have all of these open. Well, one side on each of them open. I'm not going to try to do it because I'll knock everything off over there. And I've got little canisters and the little black phone. And I'm pretty sure, yep, I got food and stuff. Let's see. I got food in there. I know I got dishes in this other one. But I got all the canisters in the way. But anyway, it's more of the little blue and white dishes that you saw in the other one. So the stove opens up. I have, and I think I need to repost the video. I think I took it down. We went all the way to Joplin, Missouri from Texas to get the 1963 Imperial GE pink stove that's going in my kitchen at the homestead. And actually my whole kitchen is planned around it. It's my dream stove. And this stove, this is what was the selling point for me to beg for the set from the seller. I showed him pictures of my pink stove, and this is like the exact stove. I mean, it looks just like it. I have the same blank workspace and everything. It's identical. I mean, it's like you just took my stove, and I'll put pictures of my stove in here so you can see. and I had to have this stove. And I did the little tiles on here. It's like plastic embossed. I made the little, printed off the little envelopes, little envelopes and postcards back there and the little thing. This is a new addition. That's why it's empty. I just recently painted it and hung it up. Little cabinet. So on to the other stuff. What came with the set. I have the sink. And oh my God, I would kill for the sink with the drain board like this. That's on. Let me move the mixer. See the drain board. Like the old ones with the drain board on it. I just love it. It's so cool. I have dishes in there. And the little mixer, this one's a little bit higher. On my other dollhouse, I have a mixer too, but this one's a little bit higher end. And my grandpa actually bought that for me. Because I have a pink mixer. If you've seen my videos, I also have a pink mixer. And back here is one of the wonders of the set, is a wash machine. Back when washing machines first started, you had a little hose that you had to pull out and hook to your sink. And they also made dishwashers like that. When I was growing up, we had a dishwasher because we moved a lot. My dad was a pastor, and my mom had a lot of allergies, and so most of the parsonages didn't have most of the parsonages did not have dishwashers. So we hauled this huge dishwasher around with us, and it had a hose just like that hooked on. And this hose actually retracts, but I am not going to get back there and knock all this stuff out. But it pulls out, and it would actually reach over here. But you can see that the whole kitchen was a little, I mean, it was the biggest room in the house, and I took it for the kitchen because I needed it. I would really love to put this set. In fact, the plan was, after I got the Keystone Boston house, that I would sell the IKEA house. But this kitchen doesn't fit in the Boston house, so I have to keep both. So, because I'm not getting rid of this kitchen. Anyway, the kitchen, I just love it. And again, I did the same thing with the window, cut the window. And I had to make sure, if you do this, make sure the windows you put at the top story have to be the tops of the trees or looking down. And the windows that you put down here, this one looks like it's looking out at a detached garage maybe. And so, but you want to make sure you don't have like a garage up on your top story. So I have the treetops upstairs. But anyway, again, nice little bits of lace that made cute valances. Made some little towels back there. Anyway, just love this kitchen. And I'm still, I need stuff up here on the walls. And there's, there's still room. It's a work in progress, and little ceramic bits and cakes and stuff. Someone sent me that little pie. I can't remember. Seemed like somebody I met on eBay. It's so cute. Anyway, little eggs. Little canisters. Just love the kitchen. It's just amazing. And then outside I have moved Patsy out here with her Effanbee that came with her little cat. And then we got a little mailbox and some flowers. Anyway, just really fun. So that is the IKEA / John Axe Wee Patsy house, my everything goes house. Everyone that comes into my house and looks at my dollhouse is enamored with the kitchen, and it just is amazing. I mean, it's just this is all metal, by the way. I forgot to say that. It's all metal. The whole thing, everything's metal. Even the little bits that are on it, everything's metal. And they just don't make things like this anymore. Things are plastic and crap. And when I was a kid in the 70s, I was like the weirdest child, because it was like I was born in the wrong time. And I would have rather had this covered in rust than the crappy plastic junk that they churned out in the 70s. The 70s was terrible for dolls. Nylon, just gross, big cheap stitches, and I just was a duck out of water. I wanted nice cottons and woods and metals, and this kitchen set is just extraordinary, and I wish children could have quality items like this today. And it's just a treasure, and I will honor my word when I said I will love and cherish this set, probably until I am very old. I just I just love, sometimes I'll just sit here and just pull up a chair and just stare at it. I mean, it's just amazing the scale of this. I mean, look, here's my hand. Look at my hand. You know, this is 1/12 scale, so 1 inch equals 12 inches in real life. But look at that. It's just amazing and just so much fun. And I still have so much to do. You know, I have so many different hobbies that everything is always a work in progress for me, and I'm always adding to things. And this house is the house, except for the kitchen, that I've given myself a lot of leeway just to add, you know, fun little bits and stuff that I find here and there at, you know, the little garage sales and antique stores. It's just a lot of fun. So, so I wanted to really share you with my Craigston complete kitchen set in the original box. It's just one of my treasures, with my little kitty in the chamber pot, just another little treasure. And when you're out there looking around, I would suggest, if you want to do a dollhouse, and depending on if you have, like, Bluettes is 1/6 scale. It's sort of like the Barbie doll scale, but it's not like made for skinny dolls like Barbie doll. Good size, but this is a real fun size too. I mean, so I have the two different doll scales, and then I have larger for the fashion dolls too, and the sissies. So basically, if I find something cute, it'll fit one of those scales. And that's why we had to go to the 1/12 too, because things I would find for the Bluette house were really too small, and so they needed their own place. But anyway, I hope you enjoy my John Axe dollhouse, as I call it. I hope you enjoyed my Craigston early 50s pink metal kitchen, because I just love it. And I like to share it with people because I know people will like it as much as I do. So, thank you for joining us, and Wee Patsy. Bye.